Hi guys! For those of you that don't know me, my name is Prophecy, and I am a mom of 3. This is my newest baby. Her name is Winifred. We call her Freddie. And today I'm just going to be bringing you guys my kind of 3-month postpartum update for me, and then kind of like her 3-month-old developmental update. So I guess I could start this video off and I'll talk to you about the postpartum stuff first. So as of right now, I am not quite 3 months postpartum. I am like a week away from being 3 months postpartum, but I figured I'll go ahead and just get this video up to you guys now because I never did my 2-month postpartum update. So I guess this can kind of count as both, kind of like a 2-month into the 3-month update. I did have a C-section, and this is actually my 3rd C-section. So the first thing that I just want to talk to you guys about is kind of like my C-section incision and how that's healed. They took my staples out after 2 weeks after I had my surgery. And at the time when they took my staples out, the scar was not still completely closed. So they put on the steri strips, or like the little, it's like tape kind of, to tape it up to kind of keep that closed. And she said just leave them on until they fall off. It did take them a while to fall off, but by the time I actually went back to my 8-week checkup for my C-section, everything had closed up. Whenever I very first had her, I was around like 198 pounds, and now the last time that I weighed in, which was at my 8-week checkup, I was 161 pounds. So initially the weight was just coming off very quickly, and then I feel like I've kind of hit like a wall and everything just slowed down. Granted, I'm not eating the best. I've just kind of been eating whatever. I've been eating a lot of things that are really easy to make because I don't have a lot of time. And 9 times out of 10, that means meals that aren't the healthiest. So that is something that I do want to work on. I do want to kind of start working on getting back into shape. And now that I am actually fully healed, I want to start working on maybe starting to exercise again. I'm not super stressed out about my weight at this point. I did lose a decent amount of weight so far, and I am just coming up on 3 months postpartum, so I'm not really too worried about it. And I did go through 2 major surgeries. I had my C-section, and I also had one of my ovaries removed as well. So my body has been through a lot. Okay, so I just put her over in her swing, and we'll see if she'll actually fall asleep or how long she's gonna sit in there. Next thing that I kind of wanted to touch on was just postpartum depression. If you guys watched my very first video, not my very first video, but if you guys watched my birth story, you'll know that I talked a little bit kind of about definitely for sure having postpartum anxiety, but I didn't really feel at the time like I was experiencing any postpartum depression, just more or less like severe anxiety. But I would say definitely like probably around, I'd say like week like 5 or so, I really would say that I started to experience like postpartum depression in general. And it's some days I have really good days, I feel like, and then some days I have really horrible days. So I do have an appointment coming up on the 12th of this month, and that's just going to be in regards to like the postpartum depression, to maybe, I really don't necessarily want to try medication, but I really don't want to feel the way that I've been feeling. I just feel like I'm not who I typically am. You know, I get worked up so easily. I feel like my patience is very short, and you can't have short patience with 3 kids, you know? I feel like I'm definitely very moody. I'll go from being angry to sad to happy and just back and forth. And so I have that appointment coming up, and I don't know. I mean, because right now, like I said, she is still fully breastfed, so I really don't want to necessarily try medication. I don't know. I guess we'll just see. I'm going to talk to the doctor and see what the doctor recommends and go from there. So, like I mentioned a couple of times, she is fully breastfed, and that has been going great. She's definitely exclusively breastfed, like For the most part, she won't take a binky. She'll just spit it right back out. And I feel like 90% of my time still is just breastfeeding. Even now that she's coming up close to 3 months old, I feel like she really hasn't slowed down with as much as she wants to eat. And I feel like sometimes she definitely just kind of uses me as her binky whenever she's just cranky or not feeling well. And so I feel like pretty much half of my day, that's all I do is just sit around and breastfeed. But, you know, I mean, that time definitely goes by really quick. She is giving me a very hard time about taking bottles. Like, she has had a bottle before when I was in the hospital. There was a couple of points in times where I couldn't breastfeed her due to, like, the tests and stuff I was getting done and the medicine and things I was taking. So they had to give her formula in a bottle a couple of times. And she took it fine then, and that was all before she was even a month old. That was all pretty much right after I had her. But now, whenever I've tried to reintroduce the bottle to her, she wants nothing to do with it. She'll just spit everything back out all over her shirt, and she just won't take the bottle. And my other daughter was the same way when she was breastfeeding. She didn't want anything to do with a bottle. So hopefully we don't run into that, because that made a lot of things really tricky with my other daughter. So hopefully we can get her. I've been trying here and there, you know, just to offer her a bottle sometimes instead of just the breast to see how she'll do with it. Okay, so this next part is going to be a little bit TMI about postpartum bleeding and stuff. So if you guys don't want to hear any of that, just skip past this part of the video. So if some of you guys know, most of the time you do not get a period if you're exclusively breastfeeding, at least like up to 6 months. But lucky me, I've had 2 periods so far, so that definitely sucks. So I am assuming, since I did have 2 periods, I am fertile at this point. I did get a prescription for birth control for the NuvaRing when I was at my 6-week appointment, but I have not started taking it yet. I'm not really trying to rush back into anything anyway, but my doctor said that the NuvaRing is one of the things that you could take that actually has like the lowest amount of hormones, so it's less likely to interfere with breastfeeding. So I do have that prescription. I can pick it up at any point in time and start it. I just haven't yet, especially because I've been dealing with like the postpartum depression and things like that. I don't necessarily want to go just adding more hormones into my body whenever my hormones aren't even regulated out yet. And I've kind of been having a hard time with things. Yeah, but we definitely don't want any more babies, at least definitely not anytime soon. If any of you guys were wondering, if you did watch my my birth story, I did talk a little bit in that. After I had my baby and I had my C-section, I had to be hospitalized again, just due to tachycardia. And I also was still pretty anemic. It seems like I did miss my appointment with my PCP to talk about getting like an echocardiogram done and everything like that. I've been getting everything so mixed up lately. I mean, because I have so many appointments for the kids, for the baby, she's had so many doctor's appointments, and then for my other kids, and then for me, just trying to get everything back on track. I've mixed so much stuff up. So I did miss that appointment, but I've been kind of keeping track of like what my pulse is and where it's at every day, and it seems like it is kind of starting to level out. It's definitely not been like as high and severe as it was. So I have not rescheduled that appointment yet, and I haven't been worrying about it as much lately. I've more or less been focused on other things. So if any of you guys were wondering about that, right now it seems like everything is going okay with that for the most part, but I definitely am just keeping track of it on my own. If I notice any changes, then I am going to get back a hold of the doctor and schedule another appointment to go in. But as of right now, it seems like everything's going okay. And speaking of appointments, I did have to schedule a dentist appointment. So ladies, postpartum ladies, take care of your dental health, because having kids destroys your teeth. My teeth were already in bad shape, and then I got pregnant and they are in horrible shape, worse shape than what they were. So I did schedule an appointment with my dentist. I went in, I have to have a couple of things done, and then I also have to call an oral surgeon. I have to have a couple of teeth removed. So take care of that aspect. Take some extra calcium or something. Because having kids literally destroys your teeth. It takes a lot out of you. But yeah, I think that is all that I wanted to talk about for myself in regards to my postpartum. My little postpartum update. I think that pretty much about covers everything for me. So I will move on to the baby. As of her last appointment, she is 12.5 pounds. So whenever she was born, she was 8'9". She's gained a decent amount of weight so far. And she had her last appointment, I'd say probably around like 3 weeks ago at this point. So she's probably definitely gained some weight since then. She's been gaining weight great. But like I said, she is a great eater. She has no problems with eating, and she does eat a lot. So that definitely has probably contributed to the healthy weight gain. She is sleeping fantastically for still being kind of like coming out of that newborn stage. She wakes up pretty much most nights. She only wakes up around 2 times a night. There has been some nights where she's just, if she's not feeling too good, or sometimes I think her belly's hurting her a little bit, she'll wake up a lot throughout the night. She definitely does want me to hold her a lot throughout the day. She doesn't really like to be put down too often, and then sometimes at night too, it carries on into the night and she wants to be held throughout the night or just be laying next to somebody, or she doesn't sleep so well. So when it comes to sleeping, that's about really the only issue I have with her sometimes, which really isn't an issue. But for the most part, she is a pretty good sleeper, so I can't really complain too much in that area for her. She's only been with someone else besides me, except for right after her delivery, for only an hour and a half out of her life. So that was recently. She was with my grandma when I took the kids trick-or-treating. It just made it a lot easier because it was kind of a really dreary day. It was raining and things. So she just stayed there with her, and she did okay with her, but she was starting to get a little bit fussy as I came back. So she's still pretty much been with me every day for the most part. She definitely smiles. She smiles all the time. You guys have probably seen it in some vlogs. If you do follow, if you guys are subscribed to me and you do watch the vlogs, you've probably definitely seen her smiling in them. And she, the other day, just started laughing for the first time. I was washing her and I was just rubbing the soap under her neck, and she just started cracking up, and it was the cutest thing. It was like a full laugh. So sometimes here and there I've gotten like a little laugh out of her, but nothing like that full. So that was just the other day. I'd say probably like 2 days ago or so. She actually really laughed. She gets pretty excited. Whenever someone's talking to her, she starts kicking her legs and kicking her or moving her arms, and she starts smiling and trying to talk. She gets really, really excited when people talk to her, especially like Laney and TJ. They bother her a lot. More or less, Laney bothers her a lot, but she loves them. She always is smiling and always is excited to see them. So that's definitely super cute to see. In regards to like her head and neck control, so far she doesn't have excellent head and neck control. She's getting a lot better with it, but I feel like she's like a little bobblehead. You gotta watch her because she'll have great control of her head and stuff, and then she'll just wobble around. She'll just lose control of it. So that's something that, it takes a little bit of time for them to master that aspect. But I have been working with her a little bit with tummy time and everything like that to kind of strengthen those muscles. And she'll get it eventually. Right now, she's still so little. So yeah, guys, that is the end of this postpartum update for me, and then the update for the baby. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, just give it a thumbs up, and I would love if you guys would subscribe to my channel. That would mean a ton to me. You guys are the best. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below, and I will definitely respond to you guys. So if I confused you in any way, or if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I promise I'll respond to you guys. But yeah, definitely, once again, thank you guys for watching. You are the best, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.